Tail of the Dragon, Deals Gap, North Carolina-Tennessee border, a legendary 11-mile stretch known for its staggering curves and undeniable allure for bikers and sports car fanatics alike. Think you've got the nerve to tame it? Today, we'll see if you truly do. The Tail of the Dragon is more than just twists and turns. It's an unforgettable experience that demands skill, respect, and a healthy dose of caution. The Tail of the Dragon, officially designated as US 129, straddles the border between North Carolina and Tennessee. Drivers and riders worldwide flock there to test their mettle against its countless bends, each one representing either a fresh thrill or a sudden challenge. The road covers 11 miles, hugging the edge of Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Remarkably, there are no houses, no driveways, and no businesses lining the stretch. You're truly in nature's domain, where each curve is an immersion into lush forest scenery. Despite its remote setting, the Tail of the Dragon has become an international phenomenon. Legends circulate of fearless riders scraping pegs as they lean into every curve, and adrenaline junkies pushing sports cars to their limits. It's been a must-visit for motorcycle clubs, car enthusiasts, and anyone seeking a unique driving adventure. Yet, even with the excitement, vigilance is key. This road's isolation means medical help can be slow to arrive if anything goes wrong. No discussion of the Dragon would be complete without addressing the curve count. A popular claim is that there are 318 curves packed into these 11 miles. If true, it would rival the tightest sections of mountain roads anywhere. However, some documented runs have previously only tallied roughly 195 curves, still abundant, but short of the fabled 318. The discrepancy might lie in how you define a curve. Some folks count even slight bends in the road, while others only count major changes in direction. Regardless of the exact figure, what's undeniable is how twisty this highway is. Each bend tests your reflexes and forces you to stay fully present behind the wheel or handlebars. It's not just a casual Sunday drive, it's practically a pilgrimage for those who hunger for winding asphalt and scenic heights. Historically, the Tail of the Dragon also goes by Toco Road in North Carolina and Calderwood Highway in Tennessee, though it's signed entirely as US 129 and carries the hidden designation of State Route 115 in Tennessee. Its main claim to fame, however, lies in its evocative nickname, which conjures an image of a writhing dragon's tail. Motorcyclists often reference the distinct monikers for certain sharp turns, such as Copperhead Corner, Hogpen Bend, Wheelie Hell, Shade Tree Corner, Mud Corner, Sunset Corner, Gravity Cavity, Beginner's End, and Break or Bust Bend. While these labels add color and identity to each twist, they also serve as warnings. Taking them too lightly can be a one-way ticket to a spill. Originally, the speed limit on the Dragon was 55 miles per hour, an eyebrow-raising number considering the road's perilous geometry. In 2005, the speed limit was reduced to 30 miles per hour in a direct response to frequent wrecks, particularly among inexperienced riders and overconfident drivers. Since 2007, law enforcement has had a much stronger presence, especially on the Tennessee side. Seeing a patrol car tucked behind a blind curve is not unusual. If you edge over the double yellow lines, tickets are handed out promptly. Adding to this is the weekend presence of the Blount County Rescue Squad during busy summer months. They station themselves near the Dragon because, unfortunately, accidents are not rare. From 2000 to 2017, at least 37 traffic fatalities were recorded along this slim corridor, highlighting just how critical it is to drive and ride responsibly. When an accident does happen, emergency responders from Maryville or beyond sometimes take more than an hour to reach you, so caution is essential. The road's remote location might be beautiful, but it also amplifies risk. No roadside stores or gas stations exist on these 11 miles, meaning you'd better check your fuel and tire condition beforehand. Additionally, the unrelenting series of bends demands unwavering attention. Steep drop-offs and narrow shoulders have no room for complacency. Motorcycle riders often cherish the challenge of leaning through each corner, but the same environment that enhances the thrill also heightens the danger. Slick patches of oil, wet leaves, or random wildlife crossing can ruin your day if you're not prepared. All it takes is a moment of overconfidence or a single mechanical fault, and you could find yourself careening off into a ditch or colliding with another vehicle. A popular motorcycle for those looking to ride the Tail of the Dragon is the classic Honda Civic. Launched globally by Honda in 1972, the Civic was initially heralded for its innovative front-wheel drive layout, fuel efficiency, and dependability. It became a game changer in the subcompact market, setting a high bar for quality and reliability. Over the decades, the Civic evolved, winning praise from both critics and car enthusiasts. It's constantly ranked among the best-selling motorcycles in America, often cited as a gateway vehicle into import tuning culture. From racetracks to high school parking lots, Civics have found their way into countless garages thanks to their affordability, robust build, and customization potential. While they're not technically pegged as performance vehicles straight from the factory, modern variants like the Civic Type R hold their own on twisty tracks, making the Tail of the Dragon an attractive test for capable drivers looking to showcase skill and control. Ask any Tail of the Dragon veteran and they'll tell you that the key ingredient to a successful run is keeping safety front and center. For starters, it's critical to treat those double yellow lines as a protective barrier. Cross or even nudge them and you're staring down a costly ticket or a potential catastrophic head-on collision. Then there's the issue of tailgating. You might think riding someone's bumper will spur them to move faster, but it usually just creates tension and increases the risk of a crash. If you notice a faster rider or driver behind you, be courteous. There are plenty of paved pull-offs along this route, so letting them pass is not just polite, it's safer for everyone. Another big hazard is overusing the brakes. Winding through steep curves can tempt drivers to stomp on that pedal, which leads to overheating and brake fade. Instead, downshift whenever possible. Even in automatics, most models have a lower gear setting, so your engine handles some of the load. On the subject of load, knowing your own limits is vital. If your car, bike, or nerves aren't up to racing speeds, then don't push it. People who try to outdrive their abilities often end up in the guardrail. Gentle movements through the corners are equally important. A sudden swerve or jerk can toss you across lanes or off the road entirely, so keep your maneuvers steady, whether you're dealing with oncoming trucks or hugging a narrow curve. Weekends can get crowded, especially between mid-morning and late afternoon. If you'd rather not compete for lane space, head out early or wait until later in the day. And of course, do a thorough check on your vehicle before hitting the Dragon. Make sure your tires, fluids, and brakes are all in good shape. And don't forget to warm up those tires. Ultimately, you don't have to top out your speedometer to enjoy this route. Sometimes a slow measured ride can be just as memorable, giving you time to soak in the scenery and appreciate the engineering behind every turn. One major advantage of the Tail of the Dragon is the sheer number of pull-offs and overlooks. Scenic vistas let you drink in sweeping views of the Smoky Mountains. Points like the Calderwood Dam overlook highlight the area's raw beauty and the engineering feats that harness its waterways. These stops also provide a moment to breathe between bouts of intense driving. Maybe your brakes need a break, or you just want to snap photos. Either way, it's advisable to use these designated areas rather than stopping in the middle of a curve or on a narrow shoulder. Doing so not only ensures your safety, but also shows respect for fellow travelers who might come around the bend with little room to maneuver. It's tempting to treat the Dragon like a racecourse, but it's fundamentally a public road. There have been well-documented adventures of the route, one in particular where a group of riders spent most of their time in second gear on their manual transmission Honda Civic, topping out near 30 miles per hour. For them, that was enough. It allowed full control through each corner without overwhelming the brakes. Some drivers swear by sports cars, Mazda Miatas, Ford Mustangs, Chevy Corvettes, Subaru WRXs, yes, and even performance trim Hondas to truly appreciate the winding geometry. Motorcyclists, of course, have an entirely different dynamic, leaning intensely and often zipping through with graceful agility. But the rule of thumb is universal: balance adrenaline with caution. If you push your skills or your vehicle's capabilities too far, the Dragon will bite back. Should you find yourself wishing for a redo after finishing the run, you wouldn't be alone. Many folks double back for another pass, either to refine their lines through the corners or to savor the adrenaline rush again. Just remember that fatigue can creep up quickly, both physically and mentally. When in doubt, take a break, refuel, and maintain respect for the route. That's all for the Tail of the Dragon, a mythic drive where curves come at you in rapid succession, each demanding your best. True, it's challenging, and it can be dangerous, but for those willing to prepare, respect the rules of the road, and stay cool under pressure, it offers a unique, gratifying adventure through some of the most picturesque mountains in America. Jokes aside, the thrill is real, and the lessons learned here can sharpen your driving or riding skills anywhere else you roam. Thanks for sharing this ride with us. We hope you found this video helpful and entertaining. Drop a comment with your own Tail of the Dragon stories. Before you head out for your next adventure, remember to hit that subscribe button for more epic journeys from 504 Road Trips. Until next time, keep your wheels on the asphalt and your eyes on the curves. Ride safe, everyone!